Good morning. This is Sunday school lesson for pre-K and kindergarten for April 25th. So what you should have is your baggie that says April 25th that has the hearts in it, and some glue, a glue stick. So when we were in person having worship, and we would pass around the offering basket during worship, what did people put in the offering basket? Money, right. And in Jesus's day, they had a special box in the temple where people placed their offerings. So today we're going to read a story about two people and their offerings. So if you have your Spark Storybook Bibles, you can turn to page 342. 342. All right. And the story is called The Widow's Offering. Jesus sat down outside a temple and taught the disciples about how to share. Do you see that rich man in fancy robes? Jesus asked the disciples. They looked around and saw him. He twirled his robes when he saw that they were watching him. I must be very special, thought the rich man. The man in fancy robes stopped in front of a money box outside the temple. He slowly reached into his money purse and pulled out several coins. One by one, he held them up to the sun so they flashed for all to see. See him? Turn the page. It's time for me to give to the poor, he said very loudly. The coins made a loud clang as he dropped them in the money box. Now Jesus asked the disciples another question. Do you see that poor old widow? Jesus whispered the question because he didn't want to scare her. She looked this way and that. She tried to hide in the crowd. She bent over the money box. Clink, clink. Her two tiny coins barely made a sound as she dropped them in. The old woman reached her hand into her pocket. It was empty. Quietly, the poor woman shuffled away. Did you notice? Asked Jesus. The man in fancy robes gave just a little of his riches and showed off a lot. The widow gave only 2 coins she had and kept quiet about it. She shared everything. She is the one who gave the most. This is how I want you to share. So, when we look at the rich man, so what did he do with his offering? Well, he wanted people to see that he was giving money, right? And a lot of money. So he made a big noise and a big deal when he put it in, right? And then if we turn the page and we look at the woman, the widow, what did she do with her offering? Right. She tried to hide, right? She tried to hide as she made her offering. She didn't want to make a big spectacle of herself at all. So does God want us to be like the bragging man or the humble widow, the woman? Right? The widow. The widow loved God so much that she gave God her whole heart. And what did the rich man give? Some of what he had, right? Some. But what did the widow give? She gave all she had. So we are going to make an art project that's going to hang in our windows. And so it's going to help us to remember to give our hearts to God, right? Like the widow did in the story. So what you're going to do is you are going to take some time and you're going to use a glue stick, or I guess if you have normal glue, and you can either put it on each piece of tissue paper, or you can put it on the back, the whole background of this clear heart, and glue everything on. then when you're done with that and it's dry, you're going to put one heart on the front, like that, okay? And glue that on, and then glue this back to the back. All right? And then you had a little string that you're going to glue to hang, and then you're going to be able to hang this, project in your window, and then the sun's going to shine through and it's going to be beautiful. So why don't you pause your video and, whoopsie, I dropped one. Pause your video and make the project now. And then when you're done with the project, you can come back and we'll close in prayer. All right, how did your sun catchers turn out? I hope they're beautiful. So we're going to do a prayer that has motions. So I want you to do what I do after I say the words. So, hi God, you love us so much. Our hearts are full of love. Your love. We want to give you our whole hearts like the widow did. Fill our hearts with love for all your people. Amen. Thank you. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week for sure. Bye-bye.